please state your name for the record?
Robert Ramirez.
And how old are you?
I was 26 at the time of the incident.
And where do you currently reside?
Chicago, Illinois.
And about how long have you lived in or about the city of Chicago?
All my life.
What is your current occupation?
I'm a carpenter.
Do you have any, are you a general carpenter, or is there a sort of specific area that you focus in?
I specialize mostly in drywall and sheetrock.
And do you currently have that position?
No, sir.
And why not?
After I got shot, I was not able to retain that job because of the stress it put on my back, so I got promoted to a desk job.
Okay. You said after you got shot. Do you recall the night of the incident when you were shot?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just want to ask you a brief couple of questions about that. What was the date of that incident?
It was December 7th, 1996.
Can you describe for the court how the evening began?
Yes, I was going to my friend Lewis's house to watch the basketball game and play some cards.
Were you and Lewis the only ones that were planning on watching the game that night?
No, we had another friend, Joseph Perrone, and Lewis's mother and his kids.
How did you know Lewis and Joseph?
We grew up together. We were on the same baseball team, and Joseph he works with me.
Okay. So you got to the Lewis's house. Did you take anything with you that night?
Yes, I brought a 6-pack of beer.
Okay. And about what time did the game start?
About 8 o'clock.
And how long did the game last that night?
Approximately 2.5 hours.
Did you have anything to drink during the game?
Yeah, I had a couple beers.
And after the game was over, what did you guys do then?
We played rummy for about an hour.
Okay. And after you guys finished playing cards, did you go home?
No, we decided to go out to a bar.
Okay. How did you get there?
Joseph drove.
And when you got to the bar, did you have something to drink?
Yeah, I had a couple drinks.
Okay. And about over how long a period of time were you guys at that bar?
About an hour and a half.
And then after that, you decided to go home?
No, we went to another bar.
Went to another bar, okay. And when you got to the second bar, did you have something to drink there?
Yeah, I had a couple more drinks.
Okay. And what were you drinking that night?
Scotch and water.
Okay. And about how long of a period of time were you at the second bar?
About an hour.
About an hour. So the game started at 8. You were there. The game was on until 10:30, 2.5 hours. Played cards for an hour. Went to the first bar for an hour and a half. The second bar for an hour. So it's about 2 o'clock at this point.
Yeah, about
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, pretty good.
So after you left the second bar, about 2 a.m., you decided to go to the third bar?
No, we headed over to Wicker Park. We were having kind of a friendly argument about who could run fastest. So we had a race.
Okay, what happened at the park after the race was over?
Then we decided to go home, so we drove back to Lewis's house to get my car, and then I got on home.
Okay, can you tell the court a little bit about your drive home?
Yes, I got my car and was going down California Avenue, and then I noticed this other car who was driving really, really slowly.
Did you recognize this car?
No, I didn't.
You ever seen it before?
Mm-mm.
Okay, what happened after that?
Well, as I said, it was driving very slowly, and I couldn't pass it, so I turned my signal on, I honked the horn, and I moved to the left, and the car also moved to the left.
So he cut you off?
Yes.
Okay, and then what happened after he cut you off?
Well, we sort of leveled out to the middle of the road, so I did the same thing, turned my blinker on, honked the horn, and moved to the left, and he moved to the left as well.
He cut you off again?
Yes.
And after he cut you off the second time, what did you do?
I followed him for a couple more blocks, and then we turned onto Evergreen. And then he stopped his car, I stopped my car, and we were kind of yelling at each other.
Okay, and at this point, did somebody yell first, or were you just kind of yelling at the same time?
We were both yelling at the same time.
Okay, do you remember what he was yelling?
No, not really.
Do you remember what you were yelling?
Yeah, I called him an idiot and so forth.
Okay, and what happened after you stopped vehicles?
He got out of his car, and then I got out of my car.
So he got out of his car first?
Yes.
Okay, so after you both had gotten out of your car, then what happened?
We were yelling at each other still, and then he kept telling me, get back in my car, keep driving, and then he hit me.
He hit you.
Yes,
So he initiated the contact. You didn't hit him first.
that's correct.
He was the aggressor. He hit you first.
Yes.
Okay. And did you know this person?
No, I've never seen him before.
Okay. Did you notice if there was anyone else in the car at the time?
Yes, I saw that there were two people in the car, him and someone else.
Okay. And so what happened after he hit you?
I hit him back.
Okay. And at that point, what happened?
Then we were struggling and, kind of rolling around, and he fell on the ground, and I was, looking at his car, noticed the passenger again, who was just kind of sitting there.
He wasn't participating in the fight at all? He wasn't yelling anything?
No.
Okay. So what happened after the first officer went down?
Then he hit me in the stomach, and then I fell down.
Okay, so you're both on the ground at this point,
Mhm.
and the other officer is still in the car.
Yes.
What happened after that?
We were kind of rolling around. He was on top of me, and then he said, "I'm a police officer."
And at this point, he identified himself as a police officer?
Yes.
Had he identified himself as a police officer before?
No, sir.
At the time when you stopped your cars, did he identify himself?
No.
Or when you were yelling at each other, when he told you to get in his car and leave, did he identify himself as a police officer?
No.
When he hit you, did he identify himself as a police officer?
Mhm.
Okay, so after the first time he identifies himself as a police officer, what did you do? What was your response?
Then I dropped my hands to the ground, and I said, "Show me some identification."
Okay, and what did he do at that point?
He got off me. And so I tried to get up, and then I noticed there was a pair of shoes to my right.
And were these belonging to the officer that you've been fighting with?
No, it was the other guy.
Okay, and at that point, did the officer that you've been struggling with show you some identification?
No, he really didn't have much time.
Why didn't he have time?
Well, he got up, and then I tried to jump up, and then I felt this pain in my back, and I thought the partner had kicked me, and I looked at him and said, "Why'd you do that? Why'd you kick me?" And then I kind of went out.
Now, did you lose consciousness, or were you just kind of groggy, or?
I was kind of groggy. I heard somebody say, "What should we do? Leave him," and then I passed out.
And what's the next thing you remember after that?
Waking up with lots of lights and people, probably the hospital.
Okay. Mr. Ramirez, are you married?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any children?
Yes, we have one son.
How old is he?
He's 10.
Okay. And Mr. Ramirez, there is a, do you recognize this knife?
Yes, sir.
Do you own this knife?
No.
Have you ever owned this knife?
No.
Mr. Ramirez, on the evening of December 7th, 1996, did you use this knife to stab Officer Levy in the shoulder?
No, sir.
Mr. Ramirez, I want to go back to something you'd said earlier regarding your employment. You said that you no longer can perform the usual duties of your job because of your incident. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And do you believe that this has hampered your ability to perform your job?
Yes, it has.
Okay, Mr. Ramirez, I have one last question for you. We went through a criminal trial, and you were found guilty of criminal battery against the officers. But why are we here in court today?
Well, I got shot as a result of excessive brutality by the Chicago Police Department. And somebody has to speak out against their tactics, or else somebody else could wind up in the hospital or the morgue.
Thank you. No further questions.